Scotland's coastline has been protected by over 200 lighthouses for over 2 centuries, and they're as relevant today as they ever were.
You've got all the navigational equipment you have on your modern-day ships, right? But if all that were to fail, what would you rely on? You'd rely on lighthouses.
The people who look after them still navigate our seas.
We're pretty multi-skilled on here.
And they still hit the road.
Look, that's going to make a language as well.
You didn't get many better jobs than this, really.
And increasingly take to the air.
That's lovely, Brad. And release.
To ensure that the teams working on
You ready?
and staying in these lighthouses
It's comfortable enough, as long as the person in the same room doesn't snore.
have everything they need.
Thanks for your help, guy.
We don't do it for just anybody.
Hey, Jack.
For the crews working for the Northern Lighthouse Board,
Let's take it easy.
It is quite a dangerous job.
Well, you have to be careful, you can get a snapbacks and then it'll just... Yeah. And it could just cut you in half.
their year-round mission is keeping the lights on in their 208 lighthouses for the thousands of vessels, big and small, to sail safely in some of the most dangerous coastal waters in the world.
When at this low water, you're up on those rocks, and that's not a good day.
Lighthouses are the road signs of the sea. Some people have a romance about them. I think where they are, what we represent, the engineering that went into building them. You know, of course, every lighthouse you go to, seemingly Robert Louis Stevenson used it as his base for Treasure Island.
Aye.
Aye, there you go.
Aye, aye.
Oban, on the west coast of Scotland, is Lighthouse Supply headquarters and home to the Polestar and big sister ship, the Pharos.
Get your hook up and just park the crane down aft just now.
With 27 years' experience, the Pharos ship's bosun is Callum.
Right, go and do the honours. That involves overseeing maintenance of the ship, cargoes to go ashore to lighthouses and whatnot, and more or less seeing that everything runs smoothly.
Working on the ships was historically seen as men's work, something the Northern Lighthouse Board are keen to change.
I'll grab the life jackets.
Right. You two go and get the pilot ladder set up.
Callum's son Jack has now been working on the ships for 3 years.
Jack's done his apprenticeship and qualified now, but you learn every day.
Okay, Jack.
Jack is the 3rd generation of his family to work on the lighthouses.
To think about where my grandpas came from, to then my dad working up to bosun, and then, who knows, maybe one day I could also work up to that too.
The crew are setting off for a month at sea.
We're cooking with gas here. Everything's falling into place.
As well as all their Scottish lights, they also look after 6 around the Isle of Man, many inaccessible by road. For their first week away, skipper Alistair Graham will sail the crew 160 nautical miles overnight from Oban to Chicken Rock Lighthouse, off the southern end of the Isle of Man.
So the Pharos is home to 20 crew members. Now, all of us 20 crew members work 6 months of the year. So those 6 months of the year, that is effectively our home. That's where we eat, that's where we sleep. Welcome to my crib. This is MTV. It's like effectively living in a flat. My fairy lights as well set the mood. I've got Rocky Balboa with me for a bit of inspiration.
But there is plenty to be getting on with on their voyage down.
Crack on.
And for Jack, whose partner lives abroad, the novelty of sharing the places he gets to see still hasn't worn off.
Which one did you say that is?
That's the opposite thing, you get stored for the carbon.
Yeah. Showing it to my partner and her family in South Africa, like it's amazing. When you get to show it to people who don't even know this sort of thing existed, it's like, it makes you feel even more impressed that you're showing them that and you're going to that. In my free time, I am currently learning Afrikaans, since my partner is Afrikaans living in South Africa. So we met on Tinder. I kind of paid for Tinder Global, you know, admittedly. But here we are today, 2 and a bit years later. I'm all ready for my lesson now, but there's no sign of my teacher. I don't know where she is. Well, I know she's in South Africa, but I don't know where she is.
Sure, alsjeblieft toch. Where is she?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, hello.
So you are not going to see me because this computer doesn't have an eye.
Well, you can see me. Do you think it would be easier if we just reschedule tomorrow and that way we're both...
I do, because like I said, I don't like being unorganized.
Oh, don't worry at all. I mean, you've only embarrassed yourself internationally in the UK, so you're not going to have any other international students. Hello, can you hear me?
That is not funny. That is not funny. Thank you for not calling me a guar.
Hou op 'n man para vies.
That's good.
In the not too distant future, Lara and I are looking at moving in with each other in the UK. So I'm actually hoping by learning Afrikaans, not only can Lara and I have better communication, but another major reason for learning it is that one day down the line, when hopefully Lara and I take that next step in our relationship, I would be looking to ask her father in Afrikaans for his daughter's hand in marriage.
In the west of Edinburgh, Craig Field, who is a lead project design engineer, and wife Gillian have been looking after their grandkids' dog Harlow whilst they've been on holiday.
Right, come on, get your harness on. Harlow, come on, you're going home. You're not going for a walk, you're going home. We were thinking of getting a dog ourselves, but a week of this has...
changed our minds.
Has changed our minds.
Until we retire.
It's destroyed the garden.
Later this afternoon, Craig will be travelling to Cape Wrath Lighthouse to deal with storm damage. But for now...
Come on, you're going home. Oh. Right, stay there. Harlow. OK.
Who's that? You're home.
You're home? How was your holiday?
Good. Good.
Good.
Is that my present?
Wow, what's in there? Can I eat it? Is it something I can eat?
Yeah,
Wow! What's that? Nugget? I didn't think I liked nugget. Oh, a magnet for my fridge. Excellent.
And we know you like them.
Oh, gummy bears.
Was the nugget for Nana then?
Oh, the nuggets, Nana's. Good.
We'll share them.
Yeah, me and my team are based in Edinburgh, but we're out on the road most weeks. I'm out with Colin, project design engineer.
Look at that's going to make a languages world. Hey.
For the 208 lighthouses, there's a rolling programme of repairs, maintenance and refurbishment all year round. Lead design engineer Craig runs these jobs.
I don't get what I'm with.
I've worked with Colin now for going on 20 years, 25 years. I shouldn't have looked at him. Are you 20 or 25?
I've been 26.
Hi, thank you.
We're on a 260-mile road trip to Cape Wrath Lighthouse, the most northwesterly tip of mainland Scotland. We've had reports that recent storms have caused severe water ingress. Today's trip to Cape Wrath will take us around the most iconic tourist route in Scotland at the moment, the North Coast 500. We drive around the North Coast 500 every year, a few times. People are paying a fortune to go around that now. Staying in hotels, paying a fortune. We do that as our living. I started as a civil engineer and draftsman, working on the drawing board. I then started to get out there on site. So we've got our technicians who will go and maintain the lighthouses. Our work is dealing with external contractors. Been there 34 years now, and probably hardly been any time that I've not been enjoying it.
It's been a 6-hour drive to Keodale, where they're picking up the contractors who'll be carrying out the repairs to Cape Wrath Lighthouse.
At least we've got a decent day for it, eh? So although Cape Wrath's on the mainland, there isn't a direct road to the lighthouse other than taking a ferry over the Kyle of Durness. So this is the only way we can get over there. So we'll be going across the little ferry. I normally try and turn up when all the lifting's done. This is bad timing. Shifty! How goes it? Shifty, the boatman, and Stuart, who run the buses over in Cape Wrath, they've got stuff over for us. They've got fuel to the station, water to the station. They're a resourceful bunch up here. Here we go.
Plenty of ballast now, I'm on. No, you're not meant to get Colin.
Stuart's buses, which were brought over by vehicle barge, are parked just across the Kyle of Durness.
Once we get over, he'll take us the almost 10-mile journey up to the lighthouse once we get all the stuff loaded on the bus. But on this road, those 10 miles, it can take a long time.
So tell me what's happening.
We're emptying the bus so we can get past this bad bit of road.
We're not getting it.
So you see, this road really is a nightmare. It's not uncommon for us to have to get in walk stages out because the potholes are massive, and it's not safe for us to be on the bus. 10 miles, as we say, but it will take probably around an hour to get there.
It's 8 a.m. and the Pharos has arrived off the coast of the Isle of Man, near Chicken Rock.
We've come to anchor in a bay just off the Cave of Man, where we can see Chicken Rock.
There's a team of 4 technicians that will be living on the light for the next week to replace batteries that should power the light for the next 20 years. Essential for vessels sailing in this part of the Irish Sea.
We've got Neil, he's the lead mechanic in charge of the maintenance.
This is getting easier.
The guys that go to the lighthouses, the conditions they'll live in, they certainly won't be the Ritz or the Hilton or anything like that.
It's a bit basic and it's a bit dated, but it's comfortable enough. As long as the person in the same room doesn't snore.
This is our boudoir. I've had better, to be honest. It's a bit hard, a bit horsehairish. I mean, you can hear the sea, so that puts you to sleep. This is our kitchen, dining area, open plan lounge.
This morning, we're going to be using the helicopter. It'll be an EC-135. It's getting piloted by Brad today.
Callum and son Jack are among the 4 crew flying over to help land the batteries that will power the light and water, so the 4 technicians staying here for a week can get a wash. They've only got a couple of hours before the tide's up over these rocks.
Once Brad drops myself, my son Jack, Kev and Sean over at the light, Brad will then go back to the ship and we'll start bringing in cargo that's required. That's lovely, Brad. Thanks very much. OK. The whole rock's submerged when the tide's up, so the rock does get slippery and just adds to the danger. We'll give you a shout when we need you. Brad will approach the ship. The strop that's underneath the helicopter's 10 metres long. Once he's over the ship, the load will get hooked on by the guy that's underneath. Brad, we're all ready for you at this end. You'll see the boys standing up at the landing area, so just the usual, aim for them. The bags of batteries that are coming in probably weigh 300 kilos.
So Jack and Kev need to have their wits about them, because if the load starts swinging, they could get knocked off the rock.
That's lovely, Brad. Anywhere there. And release.
With all the water and batteries dropped off, the team can ensure the light is in full working order. And the Lighthouse lads are one step closer to getting a shower. It's been a long journey, but Craig, Colin and the contractors have finally made it to Scotland's most northwesterly mainland lighthouse.
Here we are, Cape Wrath Lighthouse. Absolutely stunning on a day like this. Absolutely hell most of the year. If we can get in. Can you imagine the difficulties they had building this back in 1828? 100-mile-an-hour winds are not uncommon up here. All this accommodation was recently renovated. Although all the bedrooms are great, there's still a rammy to see who gets the best one, normally Colin. Who's got my room?
Hey, you've been there.
No, I can't have that room. That's an inferior suite. I've been thrown to the cold. Never mind. We'll give the contractors the better rooms, seeing as they're here for a week. And then we'll put the kettle on and have a cuppa. What'd you take?
Just milk for me, Craig.
So Colin's the guy that is irreplaceable.
How's that?
He knows how every lighthouse works. He knows how to fix every lighthouse. He can find a fault.
I don't know about that.
I'm setting him up.
You're setting me up for a fall here.
So the main reason we're here today is the roof covering on the quarter decks is leaking. There's a bit of severe water ingress. So Gary and Mikey are here to seal up that roof to make sure we keep it nice and dry. Oh, that's new. That's a bit of concern, because that's not even at the joint, is it? I hate going up the roofs. Oh,
What is that? Is that black pointed?
this is where the water's getting in. You see it just all pulling away.
Oh, well, that's fine. We can bring it just up to the below the brick.
Bring it up to just underneath the stone. So your first trip, this, get watertight. Second trip, strip the ceilings.
No, that'll be done this trip.
You're doing the ceilings as well?
Yeah.
Perfect. The further report we've had is that the dry stone wall over at the foghorn has collapsed, so that's obviously a bit of safety issue that we'll need to go and try and address as well. Oh, Jesus.
I'm saying it's been a long time it's been slipping for.
Aye.
The ace has been pushed right out.
That whole section's about to go. That's not a 5-minute job, is it? We're not doing that in a week.
No.
I'll go back to the office. I'll pass that on to the assets team. Colin designed this 62-panel solar array which powers the light here. Colin also designed the new light system in the tower.
Historically, Cape Wrath would have been a rotating lens with a clockwork mechanism, and also the light source would have been paraffin.
Each light in this area has its own individual character. That allows the mariner to identify which light they're looking at. So this character there, it says flash for half a second. It'll be off for 3.3 seconds.
So that's, half-second flash.
And it'll continue that, so it'll be 4 quite rapid flashes. Then it'll be off for 18.1 seconds, and then it'll start again. It's a 21-mile nautical mile range like this. Pretty sure if one goes out, can we still run with one?
So should we have a failure in one optic, we don't reduce the range.
Keeps our reliability stats high as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think reliability and intensity, the
conspicuity. That's Colin's word, that's not mine. So when there's a light possibly close to a built-up area where there could be pollution, like street lights or house lights, or this is brighter. That's the conspicuity. So the mariner knows, that's the light that's flashing. That's no Mrs. Moggs just went to her kitchen and put her light on. Conspicuity. I never thought the day would come when I'm using it as well. How far have I fallen?
Back at Chicken Rock Lighthouse, the lads have a race against the tide to get all the batteries up, to power the light and water for the showers, pumped into the tower.
You ready? You want to go for the water pumping?
Aye.
Aye, OK. This is a 15.
The water pump and the hoses, myself and Kevin connect all that up. And in theory, the hoses should be long enough to reach up to the lighthouse.
But it's been a while since Callum was at Chicken Rock Lighthouse.
But my dad's had that problem a few times where the hose is never long enough.
Aye, I went for a shorter one this time. Oh, I hope this isn't going to be too neat. Is that just short?
Aye, like me.
Are we going to make that? No? Yes?
5 feet.
Do us a favour. Can we slide the pump? You happy, Neil?
I'm never happy.
Oh, I know that. Are you in? Today would be nice.
I'll be all right.
OK. Right. Are we good to go? Right, fire it up. This place is always renowned, just for the sharp edges and the barnacles, for wrecking the hoses. Well, we've got the thumbs up there, so I think we did it. I think we got away with that. Ah, well, you got a shower tonight. You'll not be stinking.
I'll no need one. I've just had one. Thanks to your hose.
It's fairly changed days from way before my time when they brought stores to these places by boat. You know, they were hardy, you know, and skilled in what they do as far as the boat handling goes.
Helicopters made a huge difference.
Oh, the helicopters made a huge difference. Right.
Well, thanks for your help, guys.
Ah, you're very welcome. We don't do it for just anybody. Right, I think we're good to go.
Up until a couple of years ago, Neil worked as a mechanical engineer in the motor trade.
Oh, I love it. The hard bit's been away sometimes, but to see these sites and work on these historic structures and, you know, just try to keep them going, you know, so in this day and age of GPS and what have you. But it's just fantastic, the history behind it. Hopefully these lights will still be needed and still need maintained so it can come back here and look at these beautiful sites.
It's been a busy day for the crew of the Pharos, and tonight Chef Paul has a treat in store for them all.
So on the Pharos, we're very well fed. Paul, who's the cook right now, his food is absolutely phenomenal, which actually gives me more incentive to train.
So there you go, mate. That's my Chinese night. Egg fried rice, sweet and sour pork balls, Chinese chicken curry, barbecued spare ribs, vegetable spring rolls and prawn crackers. And hopefully this is all going to be enough.
So after dinner time, well, I'll actually go down to the hull of the ship. That's where I do my boxing, that's where I do my circuit work, bag work, shadow box and skipping. That's quite stingy when it whips you in the skin. Boxing's what's good for my health, good for my mental health, keeps me happy, keeps me ticking over, keeps me sane, especially 4 weeks away at sea.
At Cape Wrath, they don't have the luxury of a chef to cook a curry. So tonight, Craig's on kitchen duty.
Chicken Robert Josh. I didn't just show any of this to my wife because she wanted to take any of it.
Do you mind being away?
I think my wife likes me being away. She's delighted. Used to be when the kids were young, she used to complain Oh, can no send somebody away that's not got a young family. Now it's not about time you were away again, so.
Ah, it smells great. Excellent, great, well done, Greg.
You're too kind.
We do have contractors who have worked for us for 10, 15, 20 years even, and I've not met anybody that you couldn't spend a night at Cape Rathlough's with and have a good laugh, cook a curry.
Hard day today, guys.
Well done, boys.
Very good, cheers.
With the Pharos back in Oban for refuelling, Callum and son Jack are visiting a local lighthouse for a trip down memory lane.
Well, here we are. So my dad today wanted to bring me to Lismore Lighthouse, which is 7 miles away from Oban. He has been here in the past as a young boy, but this is the first time that we got to do this together.
Oh, good man, thank you.
Ah, it's a lovely lighthouse.
It's good. Jack coming in, and I do know he enjoys the different aspects of the job himself.
They should quote me quite easily, but sometimes they don't.
Feels like it's never ending, but oh, here we are. Oh, jeez, oh. Go up to the lens. Lovely, yeah?
Dad worked in the engine room, and as a kid I would go down just to spend a little bit of time with him.
So when I was younger, I would stay on the Polestar as a wee boy, having sleepover, you know, all those sort of nice core memories. All that would draw interest with me as well. So the interest that his dad drew in for him, he drew in the same interest for myself, if that makes sense.
To be fair, he is very good.
It is nice to have further aspirations. Look at what my dad does now, being bosun, maybe down the line doing something similar. You had 10 years, remember? You had 10 years to get up to that.
You might need that wee bit more.
Our lighthouses serve as the last line of defence for all vessels against our treacherous coastlines. And for Jack, his life at sea to keep the lights on has only just begun.
Every lighthouse is different. So whether it's on a rock station or if it's on an island, you know, each has its own character and unique twist to it.
And for Callum and Craig, it's been a life well travelled.
Some of the places that we go to, folk will never see in a lifetime.
I know it's corny, but it is kind of been my life coming to lighthouses for the last 34 years, so to retire and give it up, it is going to be difficult. I'll not be allowed to retire until my wife's retired. I know that for sure. Everybody that comes out here, they're coming out to do a job, but they also appreciate the historic buildings, the relevance to the mariner. So in my 34 years, I've almost seen all the major lights. I think I've got 4 left to do. Hopefully tick them off this year.